Well, let me get my pages up, man. Jeez.
Boom. All right. What up, everyone? It's Tuesday, Fantasy NFL Today show. We are live. I got my buddy Hambone at Hammer Easy. He is a football, basketball. You got really no limits on your sports knowledge, eh?
Fair point. Yeah, you're right. Keep going.
All right. So it's week 5. We're 4 weeks in. We got a pretty good handle on the season, even though it's, chaos. Hambone, so well, what's up? You had a great week gambling. You had a bad week in fantasy?
Yeah, although we bounced back, RJ Harvey went off for me on Monday night in another league, so that was very nice. But yeah, like the injuries this year, I feel like I've hit like really hard. If you got screwed, you got screwed pretty good. In the league that we're in, our favorite option Superflex league, like CeeDee Lamb, George Kittle. Man, it's hard to bounce back. I know we're gonna talk tight ends because I have regrets. But yeah, just very peculiar season thus far. Very peculiar. Wide receivers, man. We bought way too high, it feels.
Is it peculiar? Because I feel like this kind of happens every year. But I mean, yeah, no, the Malik Neighbors, Tyreek Hill in the last kind of 36 hours is just devastating.
CeeDee Lamb before that, and like Jamar Chase losing Burrow. I'm just like, man, if you went wide receiver, like I actively I avoided Puka, like, because this guy's gonna get hurt, and now he's like the best fantasy player. Like, so yeah, I found it very peculiar from where I sit. I'm like 2-2 in a couple leagues, 1-3 in another one that we're in. So I feel like I'm around 2-2, 3-1 in most of my stuff. But yeah, just I didn't have as much of a feel about it as I thought I would. The wide receivers, I think I nibbled on that bait too much, man. I'm feeling it a little bit now.
Well, who'd you get burned on? Because, yeah, I got Lamb in 2 leagues, but I'm okay with that. He's going to be back in a couple weeks. I can survive it. Especially Dallas is such a good fantasy team because their defense sucks, and they're going to be pass heavy, right? So that one I can take. Having Chase with Burrow out is a killer.
Oh, I had the stack in one league too, and it's now the stack is no longer. So yeah, Chase, CD. I went Nico pretty high in a PPR league as well. Houston's
I love Nico.
He's been okay, but man, Houston's offense is tough to watch. Like the CJ, the regression, just been it's been rough to see, man. They get that team in O-line, man. I don't know what's going on.
So yeah. So there's a lot of stuff we want to cover today. We got the injuries, and we're kind of that midpoint too. I'm still kind of living in week 4. The week 5 preview is still kind of like, at the door. I'm still like, I'm still in the week 4. Nothing's better than Tuesday. You get to wake up and like check, you know what happened, but it's nice to see if you won, you move up the standings, checking all the stuff. Any waiver wire moves that like kind of jump out at you? Like Woody Marks had a great one. We got Dylan Gabriel's going to be starting over Joe Flacco. We've got Lamar Jackson probably going to be out. So we got Cooper Rush. I mean, the backup QBs is kind of been the story this season, but none of them have been really any good except for Carson Wentz, and Mariota had that one good game.
Yeah, no one's popped. I'm actually going the other way. I'm going running backs, handcuffs. I'm big on Kendre Miller. I think he'll get his opportunity to see it for the Saints. I think Kamara, if he doesn't get traded, I think they'll be very, very limited with his touches. I was on Woody Marks pretty early. I got him in a few leagues.
Nice.
I would say jump on the handcuffs as much as possible. That would be my guy. My main guy would be Kendre Miller. That's what I would go after this week. He's probably available on many, many waivers. That would be my number one choice. We'll see what happens in Miami. Big win against the Jets. But Ollie Gordon, I know people were big on him to start the year. He's kind of like not really done much. If he's still on your bench, I would hold on just a little bit longer, see what happens with Achane. But I would go, I think to me, it's just like, if you had Trey Benson, you're looking good. If you had Cam Scatterbo, you're looking good. Like these guys are now like RB1s. So yeah, I think to me, that's where I would go personally. The QB situation, it's very much in flux, man. I don't know. I don't really trust it. Like Jake Browning went for $100 in our free agent auction, one of our pools. And it's just like, that's like money poorly spent. So I don't know. Cooper Rush, maybe, because he's had some. Yeah, it's just I would look at running backs personally.
So let's stick on that because the backup running backs is so fascinating because it's just luck a lot of the time, right? You draft the backup, hope the starter gets hurt. Braylon Allen is now on the IR, so Brees Hall's got a clear shot. So maybe Isaiah Davis, who's the RB3, gets a bump. Maybe do you like Isaiah Davis in that Kenzie Miller kind of? Because Brees Hall's proven to be a little injury prone. That we know that turf is a nightmare, and we know the Jets want to run the ball. So
yeah, I would advocate for that. Yeah, Brees has been hurt in the past as well. So I think to me, like if there's no one that jumps out at you in your league, I know like Waller's probably getting some love after last night's game too. So like no one's jumping out at you. And you have space because one of your guys got hurt, you're filling up your IR spots. I would just jump on a handcuff and just pray. And it's happened so much this season. I would go that route.
yeah, so let's stick on that though. But like, there's 32 teams. There's essentially 32 handcuffs. Do you like to go? Let's say if you have a stud, do you want that handcuff? Like, say you got Bucky. Bucky's having an MRI. He could be hurt. Would you want to go for Rashad White, or would you go for maybe one where it's more equal? Like, let's say Charbonnet was on the wire, though he's not, because he's getting more snaps than kind of Kenneth Walker. Or would you just go like you want to be a handcuff on the good team? So like a Blake Corum who's inching his way into Kyron Williams kind of a share. Like, what's your strategy to handcuff? Because, like, Ray Davis, sorry, I go long. Ray Davis is probably the best handcuff in the league based on potential, but James Cook is, like, the best running back in the league right now. So what's your methodology there?
And with Ray Davis, too, to your point, like, Ty Johnson's there lurking as well, right? So for me, I would go for the 50-50 splits. Good offenses, decent O-lines. It's obviously going to be, you want to get, like something in the Gibbs Montgomery role, like that O-line in Detroit is just so good. So those guys both eat. But, like Benson Connor, I thought made a lot of sense. Like I would avoid some of the Washington scenarios, right? Where it's like, you don't even know who's like doing what.
Rodriguez, Jeremy McNichol. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And they don't even, it's just, you want to go with like, there's a defined backup role. Right. So like I was actually staring hard at the Raiders situation. I saw Zamir White was a scratch last week after being talked up by the coaches like 2 weeks before. Like that seemed like a situation where, if Genty goes down, he steps right in, but they got Mostert waiting as well. So I would avoid that situation as well. I thought Geno Smith would be better. So I'm kind of avoiding the Raiders. But Condre Miller, I would go, I'm going to pronounce his name, Monangai in Chicago. If Swift goes down. He's got some spirit to him. I like the way he runs. He runs really, really hard. Even like the Miami situation with Achane, Jalen Wright, Ollie Gordon, like that's
Malik Washington's getting runs.
Yeah. Like that seems very muffled, but like, I would personally, I know you're big on your boy J.K. Dobbins, but if I'm looking for value, I'm trading for Harvey. I'm trading for RJ Harvey because I think he showed some stuff last night as well. Kind of catch the ball. Seems like very, very spry. So I would look for any situation where there's as much of a 50-50 split as possible. And if there's a running back that's still healthy, that has shown a history of injury, I would 100% go for that handcuff, especially if they're out there on the waiver.
Okay. So guys, hit us up with your questions, right? If you're watching on Twitter, come over to YouTube so you can like and subscribe. I'll let the questions kind of build up a bit and then we'll hit them. So it's 4 weeks in, you're either, 4-0, 3-1, 2-2, 1-3, 0-4. Right. Obviously, if you're 2-2, you're feeling okay. But this is the question I kind of asked you before. Would you rather be 4-0, but like almost last in the total points rankings, or would you rather be 2-2, but you scored the most points in your league?
2-2, easy.
Easy. Okay.
Yeah. Because like it's fool's gold, right? Like, if you're 4-0 and you had some like big performances, like say you had Trey Tucker or Ty Thornton or like some of these guys that popped. But you also had injuries, right? That kind of are just like evident. It really depends on the context. It's kind of an unfair question in that regard. But if you had the least amount of points and you're just skirting by, I would prefer to have a team that is good and that, over the long term, you're going to be putting up points every week. Like, don't get me wrong. If you're playing head to head, like you can get very, very unlucky going up against like the most points against, right? So that's sometimes the way the cookie crumbles. But of course, I'd rather have the most points for. Then you have something to complain about.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. And then, so do you have a strategy? Because like you're in, or the one league you brought me in that I won last year. I'm 4-0. I'm running away with it. You're 1-3. You're screwed.
Glad McConkey, man.
But does your strategy change? Like if I'm 4-0, I'm looking to prey on someone like you who's more desperate. Like you might be willing to give me Ladd or this is a great example, Ladd for, a bag of doorknobs, right? Just so you get rid of him so you don't have to start him anymore. And I'm going to give you some immediate value to kind of punch up your team and save your season.
Yeah, no, prey on the weak. If you're 4-0 and you feel like you've kind of skirted by in a couple matchups where you've got like, I mean, and in your case, I think you're also putting up points in that league, so you have a juggernaut. But I would just prey on the weak, man. Like for sure, I'm going to be desperate to trade Ladd. I'm 1-3. Like, okay, show me something. I also had Burrow in that league. You're bearing the lead there, but he kind of screwed me. I only drafted him pretty high. Like I think it was fourth round, just for the stack with Chase.
Sure.
The only reason I did it, I would never even consider it, but I did
it. You draft Chase to get Burrow, right?
Exactly. I just wanted that stack. Try really hard to get in auctions, and sometimes people just outbid you, like just erroneous behavior.
No one's letting you get that stack in an auction. Yeah. You're gonna have to pay the price.
Exactly. So that's about it. Prey on the week.
I'm 4-0, but it's also like I've had the most crazy non-injury luck. Like the only injury I lost Kittle in a league, and that's it. It's cool. I got a little CD Lamb in too, but there's leagues I care about, and then there's other leagues, right? But it's just crazy if the injuries. But so would you risk your team 4-0? Like I'm 4-0, other guys are 4-0, 3-1. Would you try and then be like, okay, let's try and middle and maybe trade for a CD Lamb because I can afford to lose a week or two? And the value I'm gonna have to, if the guy with Lamb is probably like 1-3 because he got screwed, right? So let's say, what's a good wide receiver who's doing great? JSN maybe. Would you trade JSN for a CD Lamb? Who would win in that scenario? 4-0 versus a 1-3.
That's a tough one. I would want a little more clarity on Lamb's injury. I would also look to see and hope that Dallas is not going to tank the season. So I would ideally wait another week. I thought they showed some gumption against the Packers. So if the Cowboys are 500, or are showing that they're competitive, then I would make a move like that. I don't know, JSN. I kind of liked him coming this year. I think to me it's just you go big or you go home, man. I would identify all of the drowning men in your pool, and as a vulture, just circle, and just try and jump on some value. I mean, I'm absolutely livid in one of our pools because one dude just went on a renegade tear and just traded literally everyone. Kyron Williams for Cam Scatterbo. Can we I thought it was one of the most egregious trades out there, but it happened, and I understand his mindset of it. It's Cam Scatterbo can pop, but the person who traded Cam got lucky because Tyrell Tracy went down. He just plucked Kyron Williams, and now he's one of the best teams in the league, right? So I think to me, don't be afraid. I don't think fantasy football is for the weak or the fearful. If you're 4-0 and you kind of got lucky and you got a dude, pounce on a team that's desperate and just go for the long-term view instead of the short-term view.
Yeah, because honestly, you never know when people are at the bottom. They're desperate and they just want to make a move. They're like, I hate my team. I don't want to stare at it. They'll make a move. They'll probably take an L and talk themselves into something. Okay, let's get to some questions here because people are answering questions in the comments, and that's not how we roll. All right, Evan Gittleman says, would you trade Mark Andrews for Rachaad White? Okay, I lost Connor and Eckler for the year. That sucks. So I need RB depth. I got Kincaid at tight end. Congrats, he's a stud. And Bucky is hurt. Is it worth to pull the trigger? Emma, what do you think? We got the Bucky MRI. We don't have news. They said it's probably not going to be serious, but we can't trust these teams. Mark Andrews got likely back. Andrews, I think, really only has had that good game, but that Baltimore offense, also with Lamar out, a lot of moving parts here.
It's Lamar, man. How long is Lamar out? That's a tough one. That's so funny, right? Is it a PPR? Is it a half PPR? I'm just going to assume half PPR, across the board. I feel like that's the safest way to go. That is a very interesting trade. I'll almost say wait, because you're waiting on Bucky.
You can't wait because if Bucky News is out and he's out for 2 weeks, Rachaad White's value goes crazy, right?
So based on our boy Evan here, if he lost Connor and Eckler, so he needs running backs, I would pull the trigger. Yeah. Personally. I would pull the trigger because Rachaad White will get some usage, and if Bucky's even let's just say he's not out for a while, but he's kind of banged up, maybe it's a week or two, at least Rachaad White can run hard and he'll catch some balls as well.
And
yes,
I
would pull
and it's not like Bucky's getting crazy. I got all the snap percentage. He's only getting 59% snaps, right? So it's Rachaad White is involved in that offense. That offense is also one we want to invest in. Baltimore one with Cooper Rush, we're not sure, and I think likely is better than Andrews. So I think that's a great trade, especially you're kind of desperate. So yeah, And
Yep.
Kincaid's been killing it. I think he only had 2 grabs last week, but one was a touchdown. Oh,
Mhm.
Evan says also, okay, double up. Would you drop Josh Downs for Kendre Miller? Okay, hopefully you caught the first part of this. I have a feeling Kamara gets traded sometime this season. I have that feeling too. Josh Downs was one of my favorite sleepers this year, but the Tyler Warren emergence has really kind of nullified him. And now we've got A.D. Mitchell. He had that 87 yarder when he pulled the Deshaun Watson or Deshaun Jackson. I feel like you like this trade, right?
I'm big on Kendra Miller. I think he's gonna get reps. I think, hey man, like the Saints are still paying a lot of money for their O-line. Like they have a stacked offensive line and they're showing some spunk. And I think Kendra Miller ran really, really hard against the Bills. I'm a once upon a time was a Saints fan, so I tend to follow the team closely. I'm big on Kendra. I got him in pretty much all my leagues. So I would pull the trigger. Obviously, if your wide receiver depth is pretty solid, I would do it. And Mitchell just, by the way, and Mitchell did not just cost them 7 points, cost them 14 with the hold on the Jonathan Taylor run that was also called back. So, yeah, I like Downs as well coming into the year. That's a tough one, but if you're starving for RB depth, I would pull the trigger. I think, again, to reiterate, in case you weren't listening to start, Miller, I think he's a waiver priority this year or this week. Sorry, if he's still available in your waivers, pluck him.
Yeah, he looked terrible. I think he was rookie 2 years ago. He was terrible, but looks like he looks good. I think he had a lot better yards per carry than Kamara. Kamara's 28, 29. He's been in the league forever. He's clearly trending down. And yeah, I think Kamara is a massive trade candidate because we do get trades in the NFL these days. A lot of teams need a running back. And then Kendra, obviously the Saints are an offense we really love, but their pace is crazy. So Kendra Miller might just volume. He'll fail upwards, right? Hit 5 grabs a game. 15 runs, 60 yards, right? He'll just get, he'll back himself in 10 points. All right, Tyler Sperry, we got you. You're spamming the thing. I'm just kidding. It's fine. We love the comments. Tolbert over Devontae Smith. Wow, how the mighty have fallen. So Philly didn't complete a single pass in the second half. They've only had one game where they've actually looked like they want to throw, but they're 4-0, so why mess with a good thing? So we got Tolbert and Kevontae Turpin, right, on Dallas for that wide receiver 2 spot. Would you do that? Like that seems a little desperate to me.
I would not do it. Personally, I would not. I mean, if you can swallow it a little bit, keep Devontae Smith. Hope that Jalen Hurts starts throwing the ball. Like at some point, Philly's got to stop like blocking kicks, blocking punts for touchdowns, right? Like at some point they're gonna have to score conventional ways. So yeah, I would not make that move, especially like Dallas Cowboys didn't put CeeDee Lamb on IR either, right? So they expect him back maybe in a week or two.
Tyler says Tolbert has more targets than Devontae has this year. Sure, I get it. But the thing is, Philly's not really running the ball well. Last year they're doing it because Saquon was breaking one, right? Their O line's not really the same. Their the yards before contact, right, has usually been. You look at the last 5 years, like first, second, third, first. This year they're about 16th. Saquon's averaging under 4 yards per carry. Like the dam's got to break. I'd want to look at the schedule because I don't know if I want easy teams or Philly's going to roll with bad defenses or. I don't know what they want, but they're definitely going to have a harder schedule. That's tough. I wouldn't be playing Devontae Smith, but I don't think you want to drop him yet. Somebody's got some value. And then any news on Bucky? I think he had the MRI yesterday. They haven't said. They said it's not going to be serious, but again, we don't trust anyone. I'm hoping he plays this week because he's great and he's pretty tough. So he played hurt last season. So I'm cautiously worried and cautiously optimistic at the same time.
We haven't seen the latest on Bucky, but no, I would scour the wire as much as possible to see if he actually is okay. But yeah, I would hold off until you get some concrete news.
So let's say we don't get the news before the wire. Rashad White's on the wire. Would you use your number 1 waiver priority on him?
Depends on your team situation. I probably would. I'm a little more of a riverboat gambler, so I would definitely again pluck these handcuffs, man. Pluck these handcuffs where you can, and I would not hesitate.
Okay. I got Bucky in a lot of leagues, so I am praying.
So I know who I'm picking up then. Okay, cool.
I think Rashad White's not there. Ken's probably got him. Probably spent $20 on him. All right, Sam. Do I trade James Cook for Tet and Rice? I'm 3-1. Okay, wow, this is just like we were talking about. I lost Malik. Sorry, thoughts and prayers, bro. And have Omarion Hampton and Woody Marks, DeAndre Swift, and some other rookies like Harvey. Hey, Jesus, man. Oh,
so is it an 18 league? What is this?
Well, no, he got the rookies. You can get the rookies late, like JCN. Depends when he drafted. JCN would have been late. Travion Henderson, 4th, 5th round. Harvey, 5th. He's 3-1. So congrats. I don't know, Tet and Rice. So we got Rishi Rice, 6-game suspension, so he's back. That offense looks good, but they don't play Baltimore every week. I mean, trading James Cook seems crazy. But he's got the running backs, right? He can kind of pick and choose here. Well, what are you doing? This is tough for me because a lot of rookie running backs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm big on Hampton. I'm big on Marks as well. If you're going to do that, I would shore up your handcuff for Swift as well with Monongai, Harvey, Henderson. Man, like you're definitely loaded there. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a sell high on Cook. What is he like? Top 10, like 11th points.
Oh, I was saying for running back, I think he's the RB2.
RB2. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So this is definitely a sell high. What do you have, like 16 touchdowns last season? Like he's on pace for that and then some. So yeah, I would think long and hard about that, man. I would think long and hard. Definitely a buy low on Rice as well. So yeah, I would consider that. Considering your depth, shake it up. Why not?
And it's also like Rice, the 4 games they already ate, and like he was unbelievable, right? He was getting 10 targets a game for the first 3 games. Yeah. Mahomes was targeting him like crazy. He was open over the middle. Like Rashee Rice is a wide receiver 1 stud, but like Worthy, Juju, they got Hollywood, Kelsey. Like Mahomes doesn't really hyper target anymore. Maybe he used to with Tyreek and Kelsey. So I'm not that worried, but Worthy looked really good, right? Playing hurt. So, but it's a fun trade. So these rookie running backs, we'll stay on this for a second, right? Like none of them popped for the first 3 weeks, right? Even Amari Hampton wasn't good. Genty was terrible. And now we got Quinshon Judkins, who's a monster. So like, who would you take between Hampton, Genty, and Quinshon Judkins?
Oh, Hampton, especially with Najee Harris going down.
Even with Joe Alt out?
Not ideal, but yes. I mean, that's the Harbaugh philosophy, man. You know they're going to run the football. Like, that's what they do. So
Herbert's leading the league in passing yards.
Yes, well, yeah, yards. Yeah, I mean, Johnson's been really, really good. I just think that's their DNA. I would prefer Hampton. To me, Herbert being good and airing it out just further helps the running game because I know that's their bread and butter. So yeah, I would. I loved Hampton coming in, and you just know they're going to run the football. So yeah, I would go Hampton personally.
Okay, Quinshon Judkins looks crazy though. I know the Raiders just lost an O-line move. Okay, so Tyler, you love this Tolbert. Trey Tucker, I think, is the wide receiver 11 right now. I know he had the 3 touchdown game, which really props it up. And Dino's looked bad, but I don't think you want to drop Trey Tucker right now.
Like it's like I'm like, if I'm faced with the decisions like that as well, like what Tucker is like WR 2 in Vegas, right? Like I feel like that's more bankable than Tolbert. Like if CD comes back, Tolbert just goes down the pecking order, right? Like unless you're desperate. Yeah, so unless you're desperate, I would also hang on to Tucker. But watching Gino play QB last few weeks, like what do you have, 7 interceptions? Like it's nonsensical. But I would personally at this juncture, I would stick with Tucker.
Yeah, I guess maybe if you really need that burst, but like I don't know, maybe I got to look into Tolbert a little bit more because it was him, Kavontae Turpin were kind of tight, but really it's Jake Ferguson. He's kind of like that alpha wide receiver, right? So it's like Pickens, Ferguson. So now it's like you're the third, but it is a pass heavy team with no defense. So I get liking Tolbert, but like he's wide receiver 11. It's just like I'm not cutting a guy who's playing that well right now. All right, Jonathan San Diego. Okay, we finally got your question. Sorry, 1 and 3. We'll spend a minute on this. 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Would you trade Drake London, Trey McBride, and Pacheco? Okay, Jesus. For Nico, Kelsey, Kamara. I would not. I do not want Kelsey or Kamara. We got 2 older guys. I love them. That's a lot just to get for Nico. What do you think here? I mean,
yeah, no chance. You're also trading low on Pacheco. I still have hope that he's gonna.
Oh, okay.
I think that's a trade. I mean, I'm big on Pacheco. I was coming to this season. He hasn't looked that great. I thought he was going to be benched after that drop against the Ravens, but he came back and scored a touchdown. I would hold out hope there. But just in terms of a value proposition, Drake London, Nico Collins, I mean, they're probably very, very similar, in my opinion, in value, even though Nico is a first rounder and McBride is just a target machine in Zona. So yeah, I just Kelsey old, man. Kelsey old, Kamara old. And I was literally just talking up Country Miller this whole pod. So I would sell low on Kamara for sure. So I would not make that trade.
Yeah, and also it's like I get it. Maybe you're just obsessed with the bye week because Atlanta's got the bye week, so you're just trying to move it around. But realistically, it's just, chairs in the Titanic. You're going to have to deal with the Nico bye week at some point. It's not like you're just going to keep trading for bye weeks. The McBride things, we'll get to tight ends in a minute. I want to catch up on these questions because I really want to talk tight ends because I'm the elite tight end guy and they're killing me and it's driving me crazy. So he says, I would trade. You would trade Landon and Collins. Well, London and Collins. Okay, well, Tyler, you're not on the podcast. Drake London just had a monster. Landon looks like they might be back a bit. It's been told. I don't know what that means. Sorry, Tyler. Okay, Matt C. Hey, fellas, what up, my man? I just traded Keenan, Ibuka, and Scatterbo. You guys did these crazy trades for Amon-Ra and Rashad White. Okay, so you traded Ibuka. Well, that seems crazy, but getting value on Keenan's good. And Amon-Ra's, is he wide receiver 1 right now? Oh, no, Puka. My wide receivers are Marvin Harrison Jr., okay. Jameson, okay. I got Derrick Henry and Shane Hampton. Did I do okay? I don't know. You sold high in Keenan, sold high in Scatterbo. But trading Ibuka seems is tough, but that's the price of business. Do you like to? This is pretty much just to get him on Raw. Do you like that?
I don't mind it. I feel like it's pretty. Definitely sold high in Ibuka. I want to know how Mike Evans is doing from his hammy. When's he due back? So you might get killed a little bit there for the first 2-3 weeks. Scatterbo just got traded for Kyron Williams in one of our leagues, so I think his value is all over the place. I get it, and if Bucky Irving's hurt, that's a good trade for you, I think. So I would say it's fairly even, but you definitely sold high in Ibuka. I don't see many people.
No, you sold high in Keenan. Keenan's like the wide receiver 8 right now.
That's insane. Yeah, that for sure is a sell high as well. I almost feel like you could have probably got a little bit more value in that regard. So yeah, I feel like you probably could have gotten a little bit more, but I don't hate it.
Yeah, and you got the Detroit, you got Jameson Williams, Monroe. I'd probably try to get Goff because what's the point of having those? May as well in for pennies.
But at some point, Lad McConkey's going to have to catch the ball. Right? At some point, right? It's going to happen. I believe it. I believe it's going to happen. But yeah, that's a sell high on Keenan. You probably could have got more, but I think everyone understands that he's not going to keep this production up, and he'll probably get hurt. So
yeah, he'll get hurt. He's past the age cliff. It's crazy. So I think just getting anything value for Keenan is great, although it might look ugly for a week or two. But Amon-Ra's, unbelievable, right? So you got the best player in the trade, and that's always nice. Tyler, man, you are involved. I love this. ESPN says might be back week 6. Well, as we have Lamb in probably almost every league combined, that is ideal. Okay, great. Okay, well, let's keep going here. We got Frizzy Lil. Nice. Okay. Would you trade away CD? Okay, it's a Lamb podcast. CD and Jordan Mason. Jesus, that'd be tough. For Wandale, Waddle, we got Tyreek Hill out, so he gets a bump. Kamara and Jameson Williams if you're 2-2. Damn. So you're just trying to keep the ship alive, right?
Whew, that's all right. So you're definitely taking some flyers here. If you feel like you can't wait at 2-2 for CD's return, because Aaron Jones is out, hamstring. He's probably he's on the IR, so he's probably gone for another at least 3 weeks, 2-3 weeks.
But I think Minnesota is playing Cleveland, so that's not great for Jordan Mason this week, right?
No, definitely not. Wandale, yeah.
Well, you got the neighbors now, right? We got the neighbors opportunities.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Again, we got to know a little bit more, how many teams in your league, because if you're trading, if this is a 10-man league or something, you don't want to be trading for depth because depth is no point. But 12, 14, because if you're getting Wandale, Waddle, Kamara, Jameson, and CD's already on your IR, you got to drop 2 or 3 guys, right? So it's who are the guys you're dropping, right? So it's the value over replacement that's really important. But I don't hate it. But at 2-2, I wouldn't panic yet. It's not time to panic. And Wandale looked great, but the Giants rookie QB, I can never remember his name.
Jackson Dart.
Yeah, Jackson Dart. He only threw for 112 yards, right? So,
I love the buy low on Jameson Williams. I watched the entire Lions-Browns game. Goff tried his best to get him going. He had one egregious drop that would have been a touchdown, like a 70-yard bomb. I think the Lions offense knows just how important Jameson Williams is to that offense. I think Goff is doing his best to get him more involved because he's seen a lot of targets, but he hasn't really caught the ball. I think the Lions are, I know this, we're talking fantasy here, but I like the Lions to win the division. I think I would throw a Super Bowl future on them as well. And I think Jameson Williams, the type of dude who can win your league for you when it matters, especially if they're vying for positioning in that division with Green Bay down the road here. I think he's a great buy low candidate.
Yeah, and also if you're 2-2, it sounds like you're feeling a little kind of desperate here. I get it with Lamb because you go 2-3, you're in trouble. You got the Lions playing Cincy this week, so like you get that Jameson. You're probably going to get that Jameson blow-up game, so that does help you a little bit because it looks like you're looking for immediate help. It's not bad because who knows, CD? Maybe he's out another month, right? Like we don't know what these injuries.
Don't say that, man.
Ankles are really tough. Maybe he comes back early and hurts it again, right? But Jordan Mason is my guy. So it's not bad, but I got to know league size. All right, Tyler Spare, you're back again. If Bucky is out, is Bucky out? That's very cryptic. I don't know. It's just an ankle. It's an MRI. It sounds precautionary because he's their franchise running back. I'm not that worried. It didn't seem like anyone's that worried about it. So I think MRI is going to come back clean and he's going to be questionable and he probably plays. That's my 2 cents. All right. The Citizen, what up? I traded Chase for J.K. Dobbins. Wow. We're assuming Jamar Chase, not Chase Brown. I needed a running back desperately since he is a dumpster fire. Since he is a dumpster fire. I mean, it's sometimes nice to just cut bait, right? You're just not sweating these terrible. What did Chase have? Like 5 for 40 or something? No touchdown. Jake Browning sucks. And they're playing Detroit, right? Again, who's got a pretty defense.
I'll be the contrarian. I'm going to be the contrarian. Okay. This is like the exact situation where I think someone like saw you as the drowning man and just decided to pick up you. I understand why you make the move. If you were super frustrated, if you drafted Chase like first, second, or third overall, or paid like $50 for him in auction or something crazy, like I get it. I think you could have extracted a little bit more, especially since Dobbins is a flight risk. Like that guy gets hurt every year. I understand like that he's doing really well, but also like since he's been playing a lot of tough pass like defenses specifically since Burrow went down, so it's just like I think you got. I'm not gonna lie. I think I've taken advantage of here. I would have tried to extract a little more value than just J.K. Dobbins. I wouldn't be prepared to cut bait on Chase. Like I have Chase in the league. I would not make this trade if I had Chase personally. But
yes, I agree because the problem is Dobbins has literally never stayed healthy. Right? He's had ACL. He's had Achilles. He's had it all. He looks great. He's had 100 yards for Denver first time in like 38 games. Dobbins looks amazing. He's a league winner. But you're betting on him to stay healthy, which is just a bet that's never happened. But I get it. I think you could have done a little bit better for Chase if you'd opened it up. But sometimes it's nice to just cut bait, right? Okay. Devontae Smith hasn't had one good game. All right, Tyler. I think he did have a good game against the Rams. I think he had 60, 70 yards and he scored. That game, Goddard scored, Brown scored. So that was a pretty good game considering everything else is like 2 crashes for 30 yards, if that.
I think the argument there too is just that Dallas Goedert's been much more involved in the passing offense. So it's now at least you're not an AJ Brown owner. Just look at that.
Yeah, because Bucky plays, White is nothing. Well, that's not really true because, like I said, Bucky's only playing at 57%. Rachaad White had, I think, 5 runs, 6 carries last week. He's playing 44% of the snaps. Rachaad White is an active RB2. But yes, if Bucky plays, White is a desperate flex play if you got guys hurt or on a bye week. But we've seen a lot of these backup running backs get touchdowns. Rachaad White got that touchdown right when Baker was it week 2? Baker had led that drive to come back. They got to the 1. I was like, oh, Bucky's going to get a touchdown here. And then Rachaad White got it. So these backup running backs always do have a little value. Okay, 2K Legend 101. A.J. Brown, Jordan Mason, and Tootin for, I guess, Garrett Wilson and Scatterboo, full PPR. Hambone, or what do you think here? It's another sell low with A.J. Brown.
Ooh, that's I would not do that. I would, again, you're selling low on AJ. I think Tootin, although Etienne's looked really, really good for Jacksonville this year, I do like Tootin he's like literally the type of handcuff that we've been talking about that could like win you a league. I think Jacksonville will be in a divisional race down the stretch here, so he will. I think that matters. I would not make that trade. Like, man, Justin Fields, like, I just don't trust him to throw the ball. I get it with Scatterbo, like he's got a massive opportunity ahead of him. So I mean, he's probably very much an RB2, but so is Jordan Mason. And then you're really just doing Brown and Tootin for Wilson. It's you know what? As I break it down, it's a little closer to I think full PPR. I don't know. I just trust Jalen Hurts more than I do Justin Fields.
That makes sense. But I think I think these people are just so sick of like having these stud receiver they draft in the first, second round, giving them nothing.
I get
Right?
it.
It's like Yahoo says they're going to get 15 and they get 2.5 points. Right? So it's just like they just want to clear the decks.
You want to go on a rant about projections? Like, don't listen to them.
No.
Don't listen to them. Like, they're just an average across the board. Like, it's just I would not factor my decision making too much in the projections. I think what you can do is just, oh, this is a good defense. Maybe this player won't succeed as well against this defense because they're really good at defending the pass, defending the run. That's, I think, where your logic should go. I'm sure the projections factor that in, but do not be married to the projections. All right? I hate the projections. They should not determine your moves.
But right, Garrett Wilson, one Tyrod Taylor game. And yeah, Fields isn't great throwing, but he's wide receiver 5. He's got 311 yards. Like he's having one of the better seasons, so it's just like you're getting guaranteed production. Again, Hurts didn't have a completion in the second half, right? So it's like, if I have AJ Brown, I'm not playing him. So it's like at least if I can trade him and I got something, I got Garrett Wilson essentially.
It's a very close trade, very very close trade. If Wilson, like if you believe in Fields, and I think this might be a sell high on Wilson on the other side, but it's hard to argue his production over AJ Brown. It's just very hard. So and Scadabo's now again legit, seeing all the carries there for the Giants. Like I get it, I completely understand. And if you're desperate, full PPR, go for it.
Yeah, I think it's just cutting bait. I'm so glad I don't have any part of Philly. Tyler, what up, my man? Gino at 7. Yes, Gino was terrible last week. What do you have? Like 112 yards. But that was kind of a Genty game, right? The Bears secondary sucks, but they're bad against the run too. Genty had 2 receiving touchdowns, plus he ran 1. So that game was weird because it was supposed to be high scoring and it wasn't. So, but I'm worried about Gino. Do we know who's the backup in Vegas? Did they keep Minshew? Did they keep Minshew?
That's Aiden O'Connell, though.
Okay, where's my boy Minshew? But we're going to talk about the Raiders in a second if we get through the questions because I want to talk Brock Bowers. All right, Xavier, I got to offer Kamara and Pearsall for BTJ, right? This is exactly what we're talking about. It's another, sick of this stud. You took BTJ 11th. He's giving you almost nothing, and you just want to get rid of him. Can you do this?
My number one underperforming player, BTJ. Like, not even more so than AJ Brown. Because some guys did spend, like, some people drafted this. You told me not to swear. Some people drafted this dude in the first round of drafts. I really believed after last season, and I don't know what's going on down there. Jacksonville's still winning games, but to me, the most underwhelming first round pick. That's a tough thing to say, but he is one of them.
A lot of them.
I would not do that still. I would wait because he hasn't been awful. Like, he hasn't been terrible. I would not sell that low, especially like Pearsall's hurt. And Kamara, again, might be traded down the road. Again, it depends on where he ends up. That's very much a gamble. I would not sell low on BTJ.
Okay. I'm just trying to find out where he's wide receiver 43. He's right there with Jameson Williams. Oh, I actually had a copy paste of all those guys I was going to talk about. Who would you rather have? But yeah, what if it was because Pearsall's legit, right? If Pearsall was healthy, I'd rather have Pearsall rest of the season BTJ. I think because like he's getting bombs. We know that Brock likes to attack downfield. It's a really good offense. They got a really good schedule, but Pearsall seems like he's banged up every week. Right? So, he didn't practice today. Jennings didn't practice.
Well, so that's the thing. So you just mentioned Jennings. Like, he's kind of in and out of the lineup. Like, you don't know when he's going to be healthy. John Lynch just reported that Ayuk may not be ready.
Yeah.
By like week 6, like maybe
week 6, week 10, week 16.
Week 10, yeah, exactly. So like that's so I understand the love for Pearsall, but he is in and out. I like Jennings in that offense personally. I think if he's healthy, he's getting a massive target share. But I understand where you're coming from with that trade, but I personally would not cut bait on BTJ just yet. I would not do that.
Yeah, because at least to Jacksonville, they are funneling stuff to the wide receivers, but for some reason it's Parker Washington. It was Dynami Brown. Travis Hunter's not much of a threat. He might end up playing more corner, so BTJ will probably emerge. And Jacksonville's kind of a pretty good team, so it's not. Yeah, he's the one I wouldn't fully panic on. Like AJ Brown, full panic. Jamar Chase, full panic. Brian Thomas Jr. at least is you gotta hope. Just pray, hope and pray. At least he's not Malik Neighbors now for the year. All right, Jonathan Santiago's back. My wide receivers are
He
my
means
running
running back.
backs are
Yeah.
Bucky, Mason, Pacheco. Would you try to get Judkins instead of Kamara? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Would
I forget the trade, but yes.
So yeah, quickly, Quinton Judkins. Like I have him. In my league, I'm doing my high stakes league. I got Bucky, Jameer Gibbs, James Cook, and Judkins, and I'm trying to find a way to start Judkins, but I just can't do it. I'd have Judkins over Pacheco. Would you have Judkins over Jordan Mason?
Yes.
Right? Yeah, Judkins is a monster. We got Dylan Gabriel's in. They're playing the Vikings this week, but the schedule will get easy because Cleveland's schedule's been crazy, right? They played Baltimore, they played Green Bay, they played Detroit. So like eventually, they got to be playing some of these bad teams. Running backs, yeah, we got you there, Jonathan. So yes, I would try and get Judkins because he's gonna blow up. He's an absolute super monster. Okay, we got more questions. All right, guys, thank you. We're gonna keep going. So make sure if you're on Twitter, come over to YouTube so you can drop a question. You can like, subscribe. You can tell Hambone you hate his fantasy takes. That would be awesome too. Spubsy, lost neighbors, and my wide receivers too is lad. Okay, Hambone, this is right at you. Obviously need wide receiver help. Do I trade Javonte Williams plus was it Eric or Alik Aomano? I don't know how to pronounce his name, but the Tennessee wide receiver two for Trey Benson and Marvin Harrison Jr. Or do I hope lad turns it around? Wow, so that's investing a lot in Arizona. So, what do you think?
I would make that trade. Yeah, I would. Trey Benson's RB1, man. RB1 in Arizona. I think that guy's a monster. I thought he'd pop last year. I had him as a handcuff for Connor last year, but Connor actually stayed healthy last year, defied all the odds. Connor went down. Benson's going to get the touches. Yeah, no, I like that. And Harrison Jr. obviously been dropping the ball a lot as of late, but I kind of believe in the Cardinals this year. Kyler is really hard to trust, but I think that offense will move the ball against bad defenses. It's just, anytime Kyler, I'm going my gambling touch here, but anytime Kyler Murray is a favorite, I would just panic. But as a dog, I think he's frisky, and I would make that trade.
Yeah, I do worry, but I don't like him. I am invested in Arizona because I got a lot of Trey McBride, but I hate it. I think Kyler is the worst, but they are a running offense. Benson does look good. Wasn't a great matchup for Seattle last week. I think he's going to get a lot better. What about Javonte? I think he's like the RB8 right now, right? You look at the top running backs and everyone's a stud, and Javonte is the only name that stands out. So that's a nice sell high, probably, right?
It's a sell high. I think it's a sell high. But he's looked really, really good. And like Sanders, I know tweaked his ankle against the Packers. We'll see how long that lasts. But no, Javonte's been very good. I actually liked him in Denver when they drafted him. They only tore his ACL. But so he's been a pleasant surprise. But this trade for me is about Trey Benson. I'm a big Trey Benson guy.
Yeah. My Brian who does the projection model is a big Trey Benson guy. Sometimes I get stuck in, what, like last year he was terrible. Like a lot of the rookie running backs, like he was terrible. I didn't think Braylon Allen was that good. Blake Corum wasn't any good, but guys get better. Like Kendry Miller was terrible, and now he looks pretty good. So players do get better. So yeah, Trey Benson might be a league winner. Might be a stud. 2K Legend. Do I trade AJ Brown? Oh, we already got this one. Okay, so Citizen says it's a 12-man PPR league. His other receivers are Quinn Johnson, Puka, DK, and Worthy. Jesus. So Citizen. Oh, that's why. So he traded Chase for Dobbins because he's stacked at wide receiver.
You could have got more, my man. That's what I think. You could have got more. I think, just because you're stacked in one position doesn't mean that you sell low on what was like a top 3 pick in the league. But, I understand where your logic came from. I understand why you did what you did. I still think you could have gotten more. But yeah, ain't my team.
But he says 3 people not paying attention, so it's slim picking. So somebody's sitting there on like a chase for Jordan Mason, or maybe even I'll try Trey Benson, Nothing's worse than people who don't look at stuff. 2K, I got Bucky, Brees, and Judkins, so I don't really need Mason. Okay, so that's why they did so. Okay, so that makes sense. Yeah. Bucky, Brees, and Judkins. That's pretty good. And the worst is when you got like 4 players for 3 spots, and you got to choose. Like in Superflex leagues where I have 3 QBs for 2 spots, I feel like I pick the wrong one every time. So.
But isn't this dude training for Scatabo too? So how does that make sense?
Well, Scadaboo's a little lower down on the in my opinion. Plus, but Bucky's hurt, right? So
If Lucky's hurt, yeah, that's the big one.
he's got Sutton and Golden as well. It's a nice little team. Okay, 8 crazy nights. Should I trade Rome for Judkins? Oh, I feel like this trade is just like this trade was designed for me. Redraft 12 man, thank you. We love that. You got Ibuka, CD, JMO, Rome, running backs, Genty, Mason. That is a team after my own heart.
Yeah.
I don't honestly. I'll let you go because I don't know.
I would. I think I would. I'm a big Judkins guy. But man, Rome's been like just supplanted more as like number 1 wide receiver. Like that just happened like that, like week 1, boom.
Wide receiver 3.
Yeah.
First round pick on a pass first team with a bad defense.
You know what, man? I have no idea. I am actually legit stumped by this because, like, man, you're going into the season with Rome, Buka, CD. Like, that's an unbelievable combination of wide receivers. And, like, Genty's good, Mason's good, Dobbins good, Pollard, man, oh, man. Why? My question is why? Why would you do it?
Well, sell high, and if you're like on the Judkins train, like kind of we are. Like Judkins has looked so good against these great defenses. What happens when he plays a bad one? If they got a rookie QB, right? I think they were one of the highest like neutral like pass rate over expectation before. And now with Judkins, now they're back to a run heavy. So like if Judkins gets 20 carries, he's gonna have 130 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Man, if you can hold off a little bit just to see what's up with CD, I would. If you're don't be in a rush to make a move like this. I understand that Chicago's on a bye week this week, so maybe that's part of factoring into your decision making. But Cleveland will be as well at some point, right? So
here we go. He's a Browns OSU fan.
In that case, man, what can I say, man? Do what you gotta do.
Get your guy. Maybe you try Jameson for Judkins and just inch up. But like I got Rome in every league, so it's hard for me to say he's a sell high because like he's the man. But I mean, is he going to be the wide receiver 3 at the end of the season? Probably not. Could Judkins be a top 5 running back? Possibly.
Wait on CD, man. Wait as long as possible. That would be my advice. Try and thin that margin out as much as humanly possible so you can get best of both worlds.
Yeah, it's fun trying to wonder what's this guy's record, right? Because Dobbins has been great. Mason had the 1 good game. Genty only the 1 good game. So you're starting Genty for the 2, eating it. And then Lamb got hurt, but you got Ibuka and Rome, so you got massive touchdowns. Right? So
the Caleb Rome like chemistry is there. It's palpable. Like ride that wave, man. I don't know.
And with DJ Moore seems like he sucks. So and then Colson Loveland out. So okay, we kind of have the questions. We're gonna go maybe 5-10 more minutes, guys. So if you got any more questions, hit us. But right now, let's just talk some fantasy stuff. So we were talking about those wide receivers that kind of sucked. Like let's say you got AJ Brown, Brian Thomas Jr. and let's say T Higgins, right? Who do you want rest of the season? AJ Brown, BTJ, T Higgins, right?
Yeah, BTJ, easy? Only because it's the most bankable QB situation, right? Like Trevor Lawrence. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Trevor Lawrence, but he can still sling it, right? So you got like Jake Browning, he's looked awful. Although they have, again, to my point earlier, they have gone up against really good defenses. BTJ.
Okay. And so when you're trying to make a trade, what do you look for? Like, do you just go immediate schedule wins? Like I got this great chart here with like Chicago, Carolina, Cincy, Rams have kind of the easy schedule over the next stretch, just playing bad defenses. Whereas the Giants, Minnesota, Houston, Buffalo are all playing really good defenses. Or maybe if you're 4-1, 4-0, 3-1, do you look maybe for that fantasy playoffs, that juicy week 15 matchup?
So I think it's a lot of things, man. So what goes into my mind is the player on your team going to be in important games down the stretch? So that's one. If you're 3-1, 4-0, and you feel comfortable that you think you're going to make the playoffs, I would 1000% look at week 14, 15, 16. Who are they facing cupcakes down the stretch? Trade for that guy. Even if you lose a little bit of value in the now, do that. And then you're weighing that against your other wide receivers. So for example, if you got one of your other wide receivers is going up against a cupcake in week 14, a tough matchup in week 15, and then a cupcake in week 16. Try and get a guy who's going up against a cupcake in week 15. So you balance that out a little bit. I think to me, it's just, especially if you're in an advantageous position now, like that's the math you got to do, right? If you want to win these leagues, I mean, there's blind luck, which is how you win leagues, or there's actually like methodology where you can pick and choose and try and map out your future. I would weigh multiple factors. Takes a few minutes, 10, 20 minutes, just do the work, go through it. And I would go that route.
But also, like, the league switches, right? Like last year, Baltimore was one of the worst defenses in the league, but by the end of the season, they were the best. Indy was the same thing. They were terrible first half and were great second half. So sometimes you plan for a future that doesn't exist. Whereas at least if you look in the immediate, like the Ravens defense is going to suck for the next couple of weeks, right? They got Marlon Humphrey's out, Roquan Smith is out, their defensive end, I can't pronounce his name, is out. So they're going to be giving up 35-40 no matter what. So it's like that's, I'd love to target against them.
There is that, no doubt. I'm looking at it more like a team perspective, right? Like you try, again, most of this is a guessing game, right? You're just making informed guesses. So I would say I would try and find teams that you think might be out of the playoff picture, for example. And again, yeah, you might have some teams that come out of nowhere, make a run late. But there are Muppets, right? Like that that you can play like, okay, this team's not going to be really playing for anything. They may be playing some backups, some younger players. Maybe that's a moment to feast. But also, like I like to draft players on teams that are like going to be scrapping for the playoffs, that are vying for division titles late, right? Like you want to have like competitive players on competitive teams because they're going to put their best foot forward come playoff time.
Yeah, or then Joe Burrow gets hurt in week 2, and then now there's the worst team in the league. What was I was going to talk about? So yeah, so Ladd, right? You got Ladd. What would you do with those wide receivers? Would you trade Ladd for Keenan Allen or Quentin Johnson? Right? Quentin Johnson, I think, is the wide receiver 6. Keenan's they're both top 10 wide receivers, and Ladd is, I got to scroll down. I don't even know where he is. It's not going to be good though. He's wide receiver 51.
Jesus.
Quentin Johnson's wide receiver 4. Keenan's wide receiver 9. You're 1 and 3. Would you take? Because it's not going to flip overnight, right?
If my record was below 500, if I was 1 and 3 or 0 and 4, you take the L and you just make that trade if it's offered to you.
It's ugly though.
It's ugly. I'm not a fan. But like that's clearly a hierarchy situation within the Chargers. Like if that's your specific example, if you're 2 and 2, I would hold a little bit longer. Hope for him to pop. I know that they're talking about getting Ladd more involved. They're saying the right things. Hold as long as you can, but I do not blame you if you panic. And like if you look at your record and you're just like, I got to blow this shit up. Like I'm not blaming you.
Okay. Last topic, unless you guys got any more questions, we will answer them. The tight ends. What's going on with tight ends? Because I feel like you're kind of an elite tight end guy like me, right? Yeah. I think you got Trey McBride, you got a George Kittle. I got Bowers, Kittle, McBride in every single league, one of the 3. What would you if let's say if you had Brock Bowers, I had Tyler Warren, and I offered you Tyler Warren for Brock Bowers, what would you do?
I would not accept it, but I understand what you're trying to do. Yeah. I think to me, the Kittle thing is an injury. Like that's tough, although he is injury prone. So like I get it like that. Yeah. You rolled the dice on that. He just had such a good year down the road. Trey McBride was like a league winner last year for some guys. Like he had some monsters down the stretch. So like for me, it's just I like the bankable. I thought tight ends were the year of the tight end. Like that's what I thought. Turns out it went the other way, where there's way more tight end depth now across the league. Like we even mentioned a dude, one of my guys who I love in Jacksonville, who I think whose target share is consistent. It's Brenton Strange. Like he might be on the waiver wire in some leagues, right? Like he's getting 5, 6, 7 targets a game. Like I just think there's way more tight end depth. I have regrets, especially like 2nd, 3rd round. Feels high. And had I known that there was like, going to be this many wide receivers, like, shit in the bed, especially in the 1st round, I would have maybe reached for more wide receiver depth instead. Like James Cook went like 3rd round in some drafts, right?
I got
4th round. Like Chuba Hubbard was pretty low on the list there too. Like
he's not my number.
Well, I was like, there's dudes there who could have been there, right? Like I don't know, man. I have some regrets. I still think there's time for it to even out, but I just guess I didn't really assume how the playing field would be like pretty much beneficial to tight ends across the board.
Well, like Brock Bowers? Let's say you're going tight end for tight end. I think is Jake Ferguson's tight end 1 right now. Would you take Jake Ferguson for Brock Bowers? So let's say you're 1 and 3.
No.
Okay, so
I would not yet. No, Brock. Listen, man. Brock's a stud. He's a beast. It's just that's a Geno problem, and just you hope that will correct itself.
And he also got hurt week 1, so maybe he hasn't been 100%.
Yeah, Geno needs to wake up. I blame Pete Carroll. He's too old for the job.
Okay. Anything you want to hit before we wrap up?
It's really just it's all about patience, man. I'm looking at this like. So this year, you drafted a wide receiver in the first round. You pretty much got screwed. Unless you took Puka, you got screwed. It's just we do this every year. I feel right. Like maybe this is just a lesson. Like I'm gonna mark it down on like my notes and just like have this be like highlighted ahead of next year's draft, where it's just like next year. Guess what? The running back's gonna be highly valued probably. And then maybe that's where you kind of zag a little bit and go wide receiver. Like just go for the dudes who you know are in good offenses. Like injury history be damned. I mean, obviously it's week 4. We'll see what happens, but we always talk ourselves like out of guys just because of like what they've done in the past, like whether it's last year or even like with their injury history. Just grab guys in good offenses. Just do it. You'll be happier for it.
It's also pure chaos too, right? Because it's like, how many studs have just gone down? How many studs are going to go down? Okay, we got one last question, then we're going to wrap up here. Stephen McMahon, evening, y'all. Would you drop Hendo, so Trey Henderson, and grab Woody Marks? Whoa. I'm in a 10-man PPR league. I got Mason Gibbs, Chase Brown, Hendo. I wouldn't do this because I like the Pats offense more than the Houston offense. And if you're in a 10-man, it's not like you're starting Woody Marks. Even if Chubb, is out, Woody Marks is RB1. Their O-line's so bad. I'd rather Henderson's more a nice stash with the crazy upside.
I'm a big Woody Marks guy.
Oh, okay.
So Joe Mixon, IR, may not even play this year. The most recent report. Nick Chubb's kind of looked, he's been okay. That was a Nick Chubb, like Nick Chubb was owning that backfield for the first few weeks. It is now very much a split, and I think it goes more towards Woody. He's their third down back, and he catches balls. Especially if you're in a PPR league. I'm a big Woody Marks guy. I think this is like his moment. I think he might be the dude that helps unleash that offense. So yeah, I mean, obviously Hendo is he might pop in that Pats offense. Drake Mays looked pretty good as well. That's a tough one.
I wanted to talk Drake May because we were both Drake May
Mayday, baby.
Bears or Bulls, whichever one's good. But you got him. Everything I wrote this year was Drake May could be top 5 QB, and guess he's QB3. So congrats. Hambone, thank you. This is great. Hopefully we got fantasy football coming up or basketball. So it's going to be a crazy next couple of weeks. But maybe we'll have you back on in a month or so, and hopefully your season's turned around or not.
I'm doing okay, man. I'm doing okay.
All right, thanks everyone. So remember, make sure Thursday we got another pod with Jason and Brian. We'll be previewing the week. We got Brian's model. It's going to be great, and then we're off. Okay, cheers, guys. We're out.
Later.